And many feminines fear to speak their truth because subconsciously there's certain topics and that they know that you're gonna, what's he's gonna think of me and how he's gonna react. He's gonna think I'm crazy. No, because his soul will recognize the truth of your messages. They will never be attracted to the ego. They will never be attracted to the mask. They will always be attracted to the truth of your soul. Even if the ego resists in the beginning, the more you trigger him, the better. The faster you will push him to heal all these wounds, because behind every trigger, there's a wound that requires healing. And whether they're still wounded or not, they always learn from us. That's how it works. We lead in the spirit realm. We are their greatest teachers. And they are ours. So whatever doubt you're going to have in the first, week of September, it's your preparation for your ascension that will come the second week. But just breathe through it. And don't just scroll for random information. Don't just, I would even say stay away. Stay away. Listen to your heart. Listen to your own truth. All right, second week. Protection. I want one more for that because I'm hearing two things. Just want to clarify. Rejection, yeah. Okay, we do have that ascension in the second week of September. Second week of September can be a little bit harsh for you, a little bit intense. We have that ascension. We have that, you irritate their demons. Remember, we mentioned, watch the previous part, that you may have a test coming when it comes to really standing in your truth and your belief. And it's also a process. We have to learn to embody that truth. And when we finally start to speak our truth without fear, we usually enter, I often talk about this, we enter this dark feminine, this dark, no, I'm gonna, this is my truth, this is what I believe in, and we yet haven't learned that balance, that compassion, that we're not supposed to force our teachings on others. We're just supposed to be and allow people to come to us, when they're ready, but never be fake, never lie, never pretend. And I feel it's going to be quite intense for you because you're going to have that ascension. You're gonna have that test coming. One may trigger the other, right? So that test, I feel like it may put you in a couple of days when you really gonna be very intensely feeling your emotions, not wanting to leave the house, wanting to protect yourself, right? But just allow it to happen. Allow it to happen. Ascensions happen for a reason. If you feel like you need support, I have an ascension support attunement that you can purchase from my website. But just again, tap into your heart. Allow it to happen. Don't reject it. You don't have to protect your heart from them. You have to build resilience. Week number 3. Isolation. Sometimes we need it. I want to do one more for the final week. I feel frustration. Okay, we have balance at the bottom of the deck. I feel like you have a potential to really ground and to really balance in that month, but it's going to be harsh. I'm not going to be sugarcoating things here. It's going to be harsh. You have very powerful transformation. You will go through a very powerful ascension. You will have some tests related to standing in your own truth, to really embodying. You know what I always say? Tests are opportunities to show that we really are who we say we are. So when we hermit, when we change, we often start to say, yes, I'm already this, I already healed that, I'm already this divine feminine. Then test comes and it's like, wah, 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 right? So just rejoice when it comes in. It's an opportunity to show that, yeah, everything that I've learned, I can now put it in motion. I can put it in action. I can really apply it. I can really see that I actually embody this energy. So it's going to be intense. I feel like you will want to protect yourself a little bit. That second and third week, you're going to be going a little bit into isolation, which is fine if that's what you feel. If you feel like that's how you need to ground, just to stay home. We're also entering, this fall season. So if you feel like just staying home, fixing yourself a warm bowl of soup, maybe some, autumn, fall sort of a tea with some syrups, just do that, right? Just do that. Listening to some grounding music, some sound baths I'm hearing as well. They're showing me crystals, so maybe you like working with crystals too. Maybe it's something that that you enjoy. But I feel that there may be some tests coming your way where you're gonna be just like, oh, I'm done with this. I just want to stay home. And that last week, we have that heartbreak, but sometimes we really have to, oftentimes in this journey, we start to heal. We understand that we have to heal our heart, right? So we heal our heart from everyone who broke it, from our exes, from our childhood friends, from our parents, from our previous relationships, first love. And we oftentimes forget that on this journey, the biggest heartbreak is from our counterpart, which means that the biggest heartbreak is from ourselves. And that's what we need to heal. There is no moving forward on this journey for as long as you don't fully forgive and let go your counterpart. I feel there may be a little bit of frustration through this growth. Ascensions can be really, really... I feel a big one is coming for this collective. They can really be harsh. They can really be challenging. They can really put us in bed for days, not wanting to move on, just starting to doubt our journey, our mission, ourselves. But it's for the sake of transformation. So just breathe through it. Whatever frustration you have, scream, cry, do whatever you need to. Give yourself grace. But don't stop there. Go deeper. Analyze every emotion. I'm hearing journal a lot. Maybe you're not going to be able in the moment to analyze these emotions. So you can just journal. You can record yourself however you prefer to do things. Because there is something about that heartbreak that you still have within you for your person that's going to be transformed by the end of the month. Okay, I want to see what shadows will come through. And then we maybe have time to do some tarot. But let's see what shadows will come through. Alright. First week. So we're going to be doing week by week still. Ground, 69, ground, confirmation. You're going to be needing a lot of grounding. A lot of grounding. So go spend time into the nature. Nature is the best advice for everyone. Even if you're not in a healing journey. Even if you don't know how to heal. If you don't have a healer, don't have a shadow worker, don't do shadow work. Just go to spend time in nature. I always say this to our masculines. You're too intimidated to go on sessions, to have healers, to work with healers. You walk this journey very much, although we're never truly alone. We have our guides, you have your feminine always with you, right? In spirit, but through red threads. But in the physical, it's just you. So go to nature. Ground. It connects your energy to the energy of earth. It brings balance, presence, and stability. You anchor your spirit into your body. Choose grounding practices that resonate. Spending time in nature, working with crystals, there's a reason I said that. Engaging in mindful body practices like yoga, meditation, eating nourishing, grounding foods. And I was hearing foods as well. So maybe you should be eating a lot of foods that, if you eat, meat, you can do that. That's grounding. If you don't eat meat, just whatever grows in the grass and land, I wanted to say in the ground. So you can make yourself like a zucchini soup or pumpkin soup, or eat a lot of potatoes and carrots. Sound therapy, I said that too, right? There's a reason I said all of these things. They came to my mind. Confirmation. Just really maybe create for yourself if this reading really resonated, so we know this is coming, right? Maybe create for yourself right now just this really grounding routine, right? Because it's going to be harsh, it's going to be difficult. So maybe just, choose certain things that you really enjoy, that you really like, out of the things that I've mentioned, and just make sure that they're going to be present in your life, maybe even from week one. There's a reason this is our first card that we pulled for that week one. Maybe you're going to need that from the very beginning. When we go through ascension, when we go through death and rebirth, there's a lot of fire within us because we have to burn the energy that is no longer necessary, right? There's a lot of water as well because there's emotion, there's a flow of emotion. We are the emotion. Emotion is water. The change is the flow of water as well. And naturally there's a lot of air because it's how we rise our vibration. Air is that energy that brings us up, right? So it all sort of especially fire and especially air, it goes towards Father Universe. So you really need to ground heavily in that Mother Earth. Proud newbie, number 33. This is a little bit of that energy that we were talking about. Remember that I mentioned to you that we are here to lead. We are here to change. We are here to be pioneers, to show people the way, to the information that we get. There are from nowhere, right? So we get downloads from the divine, so you have to trust it, because ridiculous, shallow, ego, matrix-based people always ask you why. Well, where's the proof? Where's the logic? How do you know this? I know this because I know this, because Spirit told me, okay? You either want to follow it or swipe, don't bother me. You have to be really secure in your energy. And also what the newbie card explains is there's always going to be things that we're learning. There's always going to be things that we don't know to on a timer. You're going to be, even if you're going to be expert in your field, you're going to find your field, you're going to find your mission. There's always going to be something. You have to have this curious mind. You have to never be ashamed that there's something that you don't know. Maybe this pride is still within you. Maybe that's also why you've been afraid to share whatever is. Remember, we mentioned that it's like you were really reluctant to share the new you with your friends and family. Maybe you're reluctant because you're still relatively new at this. You haven't achieved mastery, which is understandable because it takes years to achieve mastery and to really feel comfortable in doing what you do. So maybe it's also something that's like you're afraid you're going to be ridiculized. But you gotta be a newbie to become a master. There is no other way. And there's beauty in being a newbie. There's beauty in being a newbie. I've always admired, I've struggled with this shadow myself as well. And some people don't have that naturally. And I always admire, I was saying this from the beginning, I always admire these people who just, they're not afraid to say, I have no idea what you're talking about. Explain to me, show to me, I want to learn. It's so exciting. Learning is exciting. Doing something new is exciting. How boring it would be if you literally had all the knowledge and all the skills on the face of the planet. There's a beauty in learning. Maybe something, as you're home alone in that isolation, like the second, third week, maybe something I'm hearing about cooking. Maybe you should try like a completely new recipe or do something that you've never done before. And if it doesn't work out, it's absolutely okay. There's no shame in, you try. It's this baby attitude. It's this toddler attitude, right? If they would stop trying to learn how to walk after first fall, we would never walk. But the baby doesn't have that energy. The baby is a proud newbie because he's not conditioned yet. He's not in that crazy mindset that at age 4 or 5 the parents put on to that child, right? So it's just nonchalantly trying to like walk, and it falls and it doesn't care, and it's so wonderful. Do that. Be that. We have rejection trauma, number 9. And we had rejection in your emotions as well, remember? I feel you still have that trauma. You hold that trauma still. And it's gonna come through in that ascension. I feel you really may be in that ascension. Some of you may really be like really past life. We did mention past life too, right? In that longing. Sometimes we need to go extreme to release, right? Sometimes we need to go extreme and completely stop doing something, or do it to an extreme to release. So sometimes you have to find yourself really crying on the floor in an ascension over your person and howling to Father Universe to bring him back to you, because you're in such longing that your heart just cannot beat anymore without this person, to really then get out of this and be like, shit, woman, you gotta pull yourself together, because seriously, nope. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to see yourself in the misery. And I want to read Nourish Your Energy, number 26. I want to read through this because there's something that we've been talking about as well. Rejection is not healed through forgiving those who rejected you, but by you no longer rejecting your own truths and authentic selves for the approval of others. We've talked about this. You're still rejecting parts of you, parts of your own truth. This is where rejection, when we truly accept ourselves, we love ourselves regardless of other people say, we never feel rejected, because when someone rejects us, we just take it as redirection, as realignment. We understand that, okay, it means that you're not for me because I know who I am. I'm not ashamed of who I am. You're either not for me now, or you're never going to be for me. Parts of us believe that we're still unworthy of unconditional acceptance. Yeah. And we have Nourish Your Energy. So it's sort of about what we already talked about. Nourishing your energy is about bringing into your energy what really benefits it. So the grounding, the good food, that homemade soup, that walk in a park, that spending time with nature, that sound bath, that healing. I would say cleanse your energy body as well. When we talk about grounding routines, cleansing is very good. So you can cleanse, like you can go in nature, you can take salt baths, you can just have a rattle, you can dance, shake your body, declutter. All right, let's do a little tarot. What's coming? What's coming in the month of? Just to close it out, on top of everything that we have. First week, the energy, Page of Cups, Page of Cups. Sorry. I am hearing, with the devil at the bottom of the deck, Page of Cups, I am hearing roots of your emotions, returning to roots of your emotions. But we've talked about this, right? Looking at your emotions differently. You're going to be transforming. I'm also feeling you may be unleashing some creativity within you that you've suppressed before. I want to do 3 more. I want to do 3 more. Apology to self, I just heard. We have Temperance, which is beautiful. We had here, hold on, proud newbie. No, hold on. Queen of Wands. That's actually nice. Although I'm hearing two things with that. We have Six of Swords. That's nice. I'm liking that Six of Swords energy. So I was hearing two things with that Queen of Wands. I'm hearing like for most of you in that, remember we said that that third month is going to be about grounding, isolation, settling in that energy of ascension that's going to happen in the second week, but you're still going to have some tests. I feel despite of isolation, you will ignite that fire within you, a little bit of that fierceness within you. Like, I am the owner of my life. I am the owner of my emotions, right? But I'm hearing that for some of you, it may be a specific person. It may be someone female, older female. I'm hearing someone that always triggers you, that always ignites you, that is a little bit that self-absorbed. Maybe one of those people that still you haven't really healed from the triggers that they cause within you. That maybe that links to that rejection trauma, someone that you seek their approval. It's going to be an emotional month. It's going to be a difficult month. There's no doubt about it. So buckle up. Buckle up. But if you really play this right, despite the fact there's still going to be a little bit of frustration and pain, there's going to be a huge transformation at the end of this month. And you will cross another level of just letting go. Certain things that don't belong in your energy. Page of Cups. King of Pentacles. That's really nice. King of Pentacles. Six of Wands again. You're on the right path. You're on the right trajectory. Listen, no one said it would be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. You cannot have an easy journey and get all the rewards. This journey is pain. This journey is difficult. We have Hanged Man. Queen of Swords. I am hearing that you're standing on the verge of a new chapter, right? It's going to be the August. It seems to you that it was difficult. Believe me, it was nothing comparing to what's coming in September. But it is through these challenges and through these difficult months as we really transform and grow. And I promise you, this collective, the right collective, by the end of September, when you will look at the beginning of August, it will feel like that's something that happened a year ago. You're going to go emotionally on an energetic level, on a level of a soul, through so many things. Beautiful things. Just really keep yourself grounded and remember that everything happens for a reason, for the sake of your transformation. There was this energy, remember we mentioned this in the beginning, of you slowly realizing that damn, it is about the journey. Damn, it is about my change. Good things cannot just happen like that because I have to know how to hold this energy, right? I have to learn how to hold my highest, most aligned timeline. And I always say this to you guys. Remember in the beginning we said this is you and this is you from your highest timeline. If we would miraculously put you right in here, you probably screw this whole thing up because the journey exists. The journey is as long as we need to. It can be like this, but it's as long as we need to. And it also teaches us to give ourselves grace, patience, compassion, understanding, lack of judgment towards ourselves. Because enabled to have that castle, to have that beautiful garden that you're going to build one day, to hold that mission, you have to become a certain person. In order to be example for others, you have to have been through this journey. I feel like in the middle of the month, you're going to be going in and out. It's like you're going to be feeling that you're healing. It's going to be very emotional. You're going to as well, but fiery as well. You're going to be going from crying to screaming to frustration. And there's going to be moments you're going to be feeling that you're healing and it's a good thing. And you're changing, you're transforming. But at times you're just going to be like, I don't want to do this anymore. But in the end, you will really understand your truth better. Will you be completely ready to stand in your strength and embody your truth always? Maybe not. But you will be a completely different person. First, we have to understand our own truth on an internal level. Who I am. What did I come here to do? Maybe you're going to have visions as well during this ascension, I'm hearing, from what is it that you're going to... what's part of your mission. They just wanting you to surrender. I say this to you guys all the time. We choose this journey because our soul knows we're ready. But when we're here on this earth, all we have to do is surrender, because we are puppets in the hands of our higher self. So in the hands of ourselves, but puppets. We don't know the how, the when, where we're going to have to go, what we're going to have to do. We just follow the guidance. You're still resisting because there's still shadows within you. But you will really start to walk towards calmness. And really understanding it's that truth. It's that truth. It's that when we heal, we push because we feel that we're already on this journey. But the truth is that the first years sometimes we just heal to strip the layers of those thick shadows, to deal with ourselves. And it is only after a while when we stand, right, and the edge of that journey, and we see the path ahead, and now we understand, okay, this is where I start to walk it really, because that was a shadow of me. It was something that I needed to heal. I needed to hold her. I needed to give her grace. I needed to allow her to be, now I know who I am. Let's do this. Let's go. And it's just another chapter. It's going to last some time as well, right? It all obviously, overlaps. I talk about this all the time. You would know this already. Anywho, I hope this was helpful. Prepare for September. I'm crossing my fingers for you. I love you so incredibly much, and I will be back soon.